Well, caregivers have been provided with a new tool to help young children cope with loss. A Halifax author has created a children's book that provides parents and grandparents with a simple yet effective tool to help kids understand grief and loss through the use of story. I Want to See My Papa is the emotional tale of a little bear and his struggle to deal with the recent death of a grandparent. And joining us this morning is the author of this book, Campagnoni. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I know that this is something you're receiving a lot of really great feedback about this. Tell us a little bit about the story. Why did you decide to write this book?
Well, the story came as sort of another part of a journey. I was actually looking at publishing a book my father had written. He wrote in the 80s, and it's a wonderful children's series, and I'm looking still into publishing that and creating the series he was originally attending. And when I was on that path of having my head in the whole children's book and children's illustration and working with that, this book just literally came to me one night. I woke up and the story just started flowing for me, and I wrote it all out, and as soon as I was done, I knew this was going to be the best tribute to my father, to be able to help other children that would be dealing with loss and trying to understand what it means when sort of one day someone's here and one day they're gone. So
I know that is something for you too, that you were quite young actually when you lost your father, about 23, I
was 23, yeah. It was, yeah, you know, it was old considering children's levels, but my nephew was only 4, and I didn't really stop to look at his grief at the time. Of course, my sister's a child psychologist, so I know he was, you know, very well taken care of, but I was so sort of into my own world at that point, and now when I look back and I think, wow, you know, how did this 4-year-old little boy whose best buddy, you know, just pass away, and nobody would really be able to understand his mind. You know, it's a scary thing to think, you know, one day someone's here and one day they're not. And you know, I have 3 children of my own. One is much older, and then of course I have a 2- and a 4-year-old now, and I see them interacting with my, you know, my mom and my family, and you know, her grandparents on my husband's side. It's hard to imagine them going through something like that.
Is it something too that you find that even if somebody hasn't experienced a loss, maybe a child still likes to read the book because it kind of, I guess, gives them that experience or kind of prepares them for something that potentially could happen?
Yeah, well, it's funny. My daughter loves the story. She's never dealt with any type of loss in the family. She's 4, and she constantly gets me to read the book to her. And I think that we don't give children quite as much credit as to what they can handle. I think us as parents become very worried, like, how am I going to talk about this? And they don't even want to broach the subject because, you know, it's a sad subject because, you know, we have life experiences that make us see, you know, death in a different way. But when you look at so many popular shows and movies, and there's always somebody who's dying in a Disney movie, you know, like the parents, there's constantly parents dying, main characters dying, and, you know, the children still love the movie, and, you know, they may question like, well, where did he go? And everybody's going to have their own way of explaining it. But this is a story that it can either be a proactive or, you know, something that's happened after event. So it opens up the line of communication.
Okay, well, no, that's really great. And have you been giving it out to anybody as of yet? I know it's kind of just launched.
It literally just launched last week. So I have had people read it, and I've had people getting copies of the book. And it's been reviewed by a few different book publications now. So I'm getting a lot of great feedback that people are seeing it as a benefit to have it, because it is a hard subject for some people to know how to start with children. So
it is. It would kind of be like that stepping stone, I guess, if you were to kind of give it to them in the form of a story, and it kind of prepares them, I guess, for having the actual conversation.
Yeah, you know, the illustrations are beautiful in it. I think that it's kind of a classic story. I think adults that read it, it'll probably touch them in a certain way because, you know, as we age, you know, chances are we've all lost somebody that's important to us, whether it be a friend or family member. And I think that's one of the biggest feedbacks I get from people is that the adults are like, oh, I'm kind of getting teary-eyed because, you know, it's making me think of something, you know, someone or something in my past. And, you know, that's what's really important for me, I think, with this book is that it really touches your heart. And that's really the basis of the story. We didn't go into religious ideas. We didn't go into the heavens, and because everybody has a different view of death, and that's not what this book is meant to be. It's really meant to explain to the reader that, you know, everyone as they pass, they're carried in our hearts, they're carried in our memories, and that's really the journey that he goes on. So
Wonderful.
yeah.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. I could just sit
Yes.
here and chat with you about this forever, it feels like.
Oh, no, thank you. And I would like to mention that books that are sold either direct through our website, my author website, or as we get the book into independent sellers, $1 from every book will go to the Children's Wish Foundation. That's
Amazing.
a charity very special to my family's heart.
It is actually Wish Month also.
Oh, excellent. You know, that's perfect. Yet my family, my husband's family was a Wish family. For his niece who passed away, and so it's really important for us to feel like we can give back, and we, you know, wanted to have this as one of the ways that we could give back for that. So
amazing.
yeah.
Well, if you are looking for more information and you would like to buy a copy and potentially donate to the Children's Wish, you can head online for more information. IwantToSeeMyPapa.com. Also Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all the information you need online.